I'm Michelle.
And I'm Sandy.
And we're the hosts of Wines Defined. That's a podcast.
And now a YouTube channel.
That's right. And the topic of today's video is we're making sangria. But first, if you enjoy the content in this video, how about please give us a thumbs up for the YouTube.
And a 5-star review if you hop over and check us out for our podcast, which is Wines Defined Podcast, everywhere you watch or listen to your podcast on all your favorite platforms.
That's right.
Yes.
And remember to follow us on Instagram at Wines Defined Podcast. We put some content out there,
great information,
recipes, all kinds of good fun content on IG. So check that out. And
today we're going to be making a white sangria. I'll be doing the white sangria, and we're going to be using wine from Wine Spies. If you happen to join, you get $10 off. If you use www.winespies.com/Wines Defined, we'll put that in the show notes. That way you can get $10 off your first order.
We like a good deal.
We
like
do.
A good discount. That's close to a free bottle of wine.
It is, right? It is. And what are you going to be making?
I am making the red sangria, so I'm super excited about that. And before we even get started with ingredients and what we're doing, blah, blah, blah,
yes,
we're going to tell you guys that sangria, it is summer. We're excited about a summer thing. This is going to be served at our 4th of July.
Yes, tomorrow's July 4th. I think this will be airing the day after.
Right, but there's plenty of summer left. But sangria is not just a summer drink. Right. It can go into the fall and the winter.
Particularly the red that you're going to be making.
Right, and as we're telling you about the ingredients that we're using today, which will be summer fruits, we'll tell you ways to perhaps make it more fall or another season appropriate. So I'm going to go with my, what are we grabbing? The ingredients.
Oh, yes.
So actually, I'm going to cut a pineapple for Sandy, but I'm going to show you guys how to cut the pineapple because some people don't know how to do that.
They don't.
So
while you're cutting the pineapple, Michelle, I'm going to go ahead and cut up the peaches because that also goes in my dish. Do you want to go ahead and pull our composter over here so that way we can...
Let me make sure that was warm. So I'm going to put it right
here. Do that because I want to... Oh, you know what? We need to tell everybody about this wine too while we're doing this. This is another find from Wine Spies. It is a Blanc de Blanc. It's a white blend. It's called a Blanqui Blanc.
Blanqui Blanc.
And it is a blend of 40% Chenin Blanc, 40% Sauvignon Blanc, and 11% Gewürztraminer. Is that the German, not the reason,
Gewürztraminer.
Yeah.
I can't do that one, it's German. There's too many consonants in there for me. So anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
Happy 4th. Cheers to you guys too. And happy sangria making.
You didn't taste it?
I tasted it while you were talking, but I'll taste it again. So, as Sandy said, we have connected with Wine Spies, and you can get a really good deal on the Wine Spies. And the good thing about Wine Spies is it's it's like last bottle. It's some unique boutique wineries that have hooked up with them and are letting them know what their leftover are.
Why don't you tell them what you're doing?
Okay, yeah. So if you don't know, if you've never done a pineapple, you want to cap the ends off. So you want to take the pretty top, and I like to save this part and put it as a centerpiece,
as a decoration
for whatever I'm doing. So that usually is a frequent thing. And then you just cut the butt off too. And then that gives you a nice flat, so it's not round and you're not biting it. And then you just want to make sure that you're taking the little spiky parts off. So you want to cut the sides off to make sure that you're taking those nasty pits off. That's right. So, and we're using a dump bowl, a compost bowl. If you guys watch Rachel Ray, she's a big proponent of the dump bowl.
Well, and I compost, as you know, I garden a good bit, so I'm going to take this home and put it in my composter so that I have the fresh materials.
Feed the soil. She's going to feed her soil at home.
Yeah,
I don't want to feed my weeds, so we're not doing that here.
Oh, her husband wouldn't allow a weed in the yard, so.
Yeah, it's not the yard, it's the flower beds.
Oh, goodness.
All right, so once you get all the pretty green spiny things off, you're just gonna go, the core in the center of the pineapple right here is very hard. You do not want to eat that part. So you're just gonna go, it's very fibrous and not very pleasant. So you wanna just basically go to just outside the center of the pineapple and slice off the edges. That's how we get our nice pineapple chunks that are so tasty.
And I hope you guys are staying to the end because we are going to be reviewing all 3 of these wines that we're going to be using that we drink while we're chopping up fruit here.
That's right. So we're tasting this Blanc Blancy, and that's a take on Blanc de Blanc because I'm assuming it's a Blanc de Blanc. Similar.
Yes.
And the wines for the sangria, of course, we're not going to put them in the sangria without tasting.
Right. You still want, even though it's going to be a blend, you still want to make sure that it's a good wine to drink.
And as I'm chopping this, I'm getting this one. There's some pieces that are a little overripe. They're very yellow. They're very mushy. We don't want that in the sangria, or do we care? We're not gonna eat it.
Yeah, it's up to you. Well, I wouldn't put it in there.
That's what I was thinking. It's a little mushy.
It would be.
So we're gonna just, sometimes that happens. This pieces and parts might not look good of your fruit. Just take the pieces that don't look good to you and just don't use those.
Yeah. And if you've ever cut up a peach, this one's actually a little bit firm, but what I do is peel it and then I take it and go to the core, go all the way back around, and then try to make little wedges. Ooh, this one here is a little bit better. The other one did not want to do that. Because what it ends up doing is this one still is a little rough. It pops right off that pit. But
Yeah.
these are a little firm still. And these are actually from Moneta.
Oh,
So
okay.
these
Moneta,
are-
South Carolina. So you guys don't know this,
yes.
but this weekend is a big celebration in South Carolina. Typically, we'd be going to the Peach Festival on July 4th, except for the fact that it's 2020 and nobody's doing anything.
Nobody does anything in 2020.
Nobody's doing anything normal. So the Peach Festival is not happening.
Oh, make sure I think I put my pit in there. I want to make sure that I don't do that.
No, don't do that. Well, we'll dig it out.
All right.
And I'm gonna, just in case we want to save the pineapple top, I'm putting that here, and I'm putting the pineapple over here on this plate for us, just to make it pretty, so you guys can see the idea of, making your little
Presentation
is everything.
Yeah.
That's right.
Martha Stewart would be proud.
She would be. Karen Krause would be proud.
Karen Krause,
Our
yeah,
friend
she would
Karen.
very be proud, yeah.
And what we both have is we've got a little towel right here so we can wipe our hands off because it's very messy, these fruits.
So I have my peaches cut up.
I have
You
my
the
pineapple cut up,
up.
so
So
we're ready
that's
for
the
stage
first
2.
stage 2. So that means we're going to pour. Or we do want to get all the fruit together and then pour the wine. I think would
so.
probably.
And I need to chop. We need to slice the oranges. Are you
Slice
putting
the oranges?
Yours probably doesn't call for orange. Mine.
I think mine. I don't think mine did.
Okay. So in what we can tell them what fruits we're going to use. That might be a good spot right now to do that. So the red. And because I chose Tempranillo or a Rioja or a Pinot Noir, or what you want to use as your base for a red sangria, a low tannin wine. And I went with a Pinot Noir.
Oh, excellent.
And so since I went with a Pinot Noir, I wanted to throw in some cherry, and cherries are seasonal. So when you're making your sangrias, and we talked about what is seasonal, so it's summer. So we're using seasonal fruits right now. Pineapple is good. I went with the cherries because they are, and I wanted to bring out that character and that. And I've got some strawberry, and I've got some orange, and just to add that citrus. And I've got some berry. I did raspberry, so I've just got a mixed bag of berry.
That complement the wine and complement the season. So those are the 2 points that you think about. So I am going to have pineapple, fresh peaches, and I've got another one. What else do I have back there that I was going to
You're
put
going
in
to do
there?
strawberries too.
Strawberries,
You've got
okay.
strawberries. So we've cut some of that stuff up, but not all. Oh, an apple. I'm putting apple in mine. I have a little Red Delicious. I have the strawberries. We're going to share the strawberries here.
Let's go ahead and get our picture.
Mine calls for 4 oranges. 2 of them I'm going to juice and put the juice into the sangria, and 2 of them I'm going to slice up and have them float.
Oh, you're going to have a good bit in there. Do you eat your fruit?
It depends. I have and I have not. It depends on how soggy it is. We're doing this the night before, so it's going to get pretty well. And that's what I started this whole conversation with, is I'm back to my cherries. because in one of the recipes that I read, when I make a recipe, and I bounce around a lot, so there you go. When I make a recipe, I read a bunch of different recipes, and then I make a mixture.
I do too.
Yeah. So
one isn't good. You gotta put them all together.
You gotta have some knowledge. Right. And so what I did is I read a bunch of recipes, and one of them suggested to soak the cherries in the brandy, which is one of my ingredients. And so my cherries were sliced ahead of time, and they're soaking in the brandy. So that was one thing. And these are my oranges that I'm going to squeeze in, and these are my oranges that I'm going to slice and toss in.
I'm going to go ahead and put my strawberries in.
Okay. Did you want an orange slice or not? I don't think yours calls for it.
I don't think mine did.
Okay. And you know, there's no wrong answer, because if you like it and it's sangria and it's going to be fruity, just throw it in there. Whatever you like. That's what I did. I went and got all the fruits that I wanted to bring out of the wine that I'm going to be. And I said,
and my white wine is going to be a Rioja.
Which is typically a red. So
it typically is, but this is a white Rioja. This was one of those Wine Spy finds. Yep, it actually called it a unicorn wine. It does not come around very often.
And we got it for a pretty good price, didn't we?
We did.
Really excellent price.
It was under $10, I think.
Because of the discount that we get.
Yes.
And it was one that you selected, and then you said you waited until we had a full order so that it could go in our locker, so that we didn't have to.
That locker is very helpful. That was the other thing that I was going to tell you about, is that what you do is you can collect all 12 bottles, and then they ship for free once you get a case.
Free shipping, and
be careful, don't touch it.
I know, I've gotten my thumb before. It's a big old 7-stitch slice from a cabbage.
Ooh!
An incident with a cabbage. All right, so mine is going to be apple, oranges, cherries. I'm gonna throw some strawberries in there. I'm gonna just slice the apple like this in case we do want to eat it, because I think it might taste good.
I think that'll probably taste good, because I think it'll also be very firm.
And it's a good thing that you can do too, since it's firm, is you can do a little slice, and then we can serve it with.
Okay, you're like me.
I know it's gotta come.
I've done this before. Gotta take the sticker off.
That's right. So what I was thinking though is we could use this as a garnish too. I'm just gonna cut that piece of thing off. So what we'll do is we'll slice that, stick it on glass tomorrow.
Oh, very nice. Okay.
So you want to go ahead and you can be telling them about yours when I'm tossing my fruit in?
Let me see. Wine. Here is the wine that we're going to have. We are going to taste it before we drink it.
So I'm going to finish my
you've got to finish yours.
What is it? Blanc de Blanc?
Blanc Le Blanc.
It's just a nice, smooth, crisp.
It was smooth and crisp.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and give you some.
Thank you.
Oh, you know what? I have to prep the brandy for it.
It's not brandy. Yours is rum.
Mine's rum. Mine's rum.
Fruit here. Okay. What do you think?
It's crisp.
Did you use all the strawberries? Yep. Here's mine.
It's smoother than I thought.
Well, a Rioja is generally smooth.
Yeah, very low in tannin. I guess because it's makes sense. It's a white.
Let's see.
Ooh. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing this. I have, in addition to the wine, mine it calls for rum, sugar, and water combination. I think it was. It was 3/4 cup. Was it 2/3 cup sugar, 3/4 cup water? So I'm going to go ahead and pour my water,
and then we can get the kettle off camera. And I'm just juicing my orange halves that I had reserved to get that yummy orange juice in. And what I do is I cup my hand. John hates it when I do this because if you have a tool for this, it's just as easy. If you hold your hand like this and you cup it, you can catch those seeds and make sure that they don't drop in.
Oh, actually, that's the way I do it.
Yeah, this is what I do. He hates it because he's like, I have a thing that I bought for that. No need to buy anything.
Sometimes there's too many gadgets in the kitchen.
Yes.
You can just use your hands whenever you need, and that's half the fun of cooking, isn't it?
Getting your hands dirty. That's right. Yeah.
That's what I enjoy. All right, I'm just basically making a simple sugar, except you don't have to cook it over. over the stove because it'll end up, yeah.
It's a syrup, and what we did is we went
syrup.
ahead and heated up the water, so that's gonna dissolve that sugar.
Yeah, I just want to stir it a little bit longer. I still feel a few granules in there. How's it going over there? You're squeezing hard.
Good, yeah. This is a very juicy orange. In fact, I'm sitting here thinking there's so much fruit in this.
I'm wondering if we're going to be able to fit everything in here.
I was wondering that too, but I'm wondering, mine calls for sugar too. I don't know that I'm going to add it. I'm thinking maybe I don't want to.
Well, I'm wondering, do you want half of this? Because I don't think I want all that in there
Yeah,
either.
let's do that. Yeah.
See, we're changing it up
There
already.
you go. And that's what I was going to say, is anytime something calls for an added sugar, if I don't feel it's necessary, I just 86 it, because who needs that extra sugar, right?
Yeah, I think those oranges,
They're so sweet and aromatic.
I can smell them over here.
Yeah, they're gonna add enough sweet. And then I'm gonna dump the brandy in my
that looks good.
soaked
Brandy
cherries.
cherries.
There, look at how pretty. You know what we don't have?
What?
You got a spoon?
Yes, I did. I went and found one.
Well, we need like a big one. I should have gotten the wooden spoon. So what we should have, and we don't, is a nice good wooden spoon to allow us to stir.
It'll be all right.
That's right. This little
Mine requires, hers was brandy and cherries. Mine was rum.
That's right.
So I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of this in here. It calls for about a cup, which it's close enough. This is, again,
one of those just eyeball and do.
Sangria is just fun. Oh, and you're even doing
I'm
red
adding a little bit of
raspberries.
raspberry just because I love raspberry and it's summer. I'm not going to do them all. And because I love it when a Pinot Noir has that cherry and raspberry. So are we ready to add some wine to this?
Not yours yet. Let's talk about this wine before we put it into.
Well, I have
into
Pinot Noir glasses too.
Oh, do we?
So
Okay.
this is our Vintner's white wine glass. And I also have, ta-da, Pinot Noir glasses. So we could go ahead and...
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pour this into our, let's see, I'm hoping it all fits.
It will.
And then tomorrow we're going to hopefully have some, oh look, it definitely all fits.
Yeah. And we're just gonna put a cover on that, stick it in the refrigerator, and let that marinate and meld overnight. There is a Greetings from the Willamette Valley Pinot Noir, and I was looking for a light, fun Pinot Noir, and this just jumped out at me.
I love the label.
It has such a cool label. It's a 2017. I researched it. I didn't find a whole bunch on it. So if you guys are out there and you like the fact that we used your wine, we'll tag you on Instagram. Maybe we can learn a little bit, because there wasn't anything that I could find much about it. But it was a Willamette Valley, and I've been wanting to try it. And I do believe the notes that were given was it was light, and I wanted a very light, refreshing drink.
Okay, very good.
So I'm gonna pour mine in.
Let's go ahead. Well, I want to taste it. Do you want to taste it first? Make sure it's not skunky before you ruin all that food.
Well, that's probably it.
Nice, light, refreshing. I do taste the cherries. I think the cherries are going to go good with it.
Oh my goodness, that's gonna be so much fun. Okay, this is gonna be a fun sangria. Okay.
All right, go ahead and pour yours.
All right, here we go. And I'm using what we call our Kool-Aid. It's a margarita pitcher, but we call it our Kool-Aid pitcher.
Don't let that wine fall.
I'm not. Yeah. Whenever I tell John I need it down from the cabinet because it goes really high, I say, "Get the Kool-Aid pitcher out." He gets it. He knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's going to be so pretty.
That is going to be lovely. Look at that. That's beautiful. All those fruits mixed together overnight are going to just bring out so much yummy flavor. So mine actually calls for when you go to serve it, at the very last minute, you want to
Oh, mine does too.
Mine is seltzer water, and yours is Sprite.
Mine is Sprite. I think I may do seltzer water. I don't want all that sweet.
Yeah, we don't want to add extra sweet, as we just said. And also, what we'd like to do is make sure that on a hot summer day, that little bit of fizz just adds that little kick that you want. If it's too sweet, too strong, because it does have, it's a liquor and
What
wine.
I might even do, instead of adding the spritz into this, what I will do is I'll add add the sangria into my cup, and then
into
top off.
Right. So
Because
you can
I-
select how strong you want your sangria and how much of the
Yeah.
spritz you want. So
That's what I'm gonna
a tip
do.
there. Yeah. And the other thing I'm going to let you know is that mine did call for brandy. It was, oh, you know what? I'm going to add a little bit more brandy because we had a little brandy accident when I tried to get mine. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that. And I wanted to tell y'all, if you didn't know, because I want to tell you two things. Brandy is fortified wine, which is very interesting. And I went and very scientifically selected the brandy that had the least amount on the shelf, which was this Saint Remy, which is a
Had
French.
the least amount?
Yeah, when I
of
went,
what?
there was all these brandies, and this was the one that had the least number. Like all of them, maybe there was 5 or 6 of one, and like they would, you know, there was less on the
that was
shelf.
your. So you were saying that most people pulled it
This
off
one
the
was
shelf.
more popular in my
Oh.
opinion, or they had a delivery issue, but that was how I selected it. Scientific, right at your best.
Yeah.
But we want to let you guys know that we are going to have a brandy maker on the podcast coming up. We were super excited. If you guys have ever seen the documentary called Tin City, you can watch it on Prime, Amazon Prime, or Netflix.
I can't wait. She's seen it. I have not. She says it's interesting.
It's so much fun. It's so interesting. And we connected with Wine Shine of Paso Robles, and they make brandy from Paso wine. So we're super excited to have that on. We're going to be taping it late July, airing it in August. So anyway, since our sangria called for brandy, I thought I would mention that. And this is the one that we used today, which was Saint Remy, and it's French. This one is. Anyway, so let's put we can put this
let's
here.
put that there. Where's our? Here's your
this.
Pinot. We have it all, so that way you can see
Let me tell you
everything
guys,
that is.
cheers. And which one do we want, white or red?
Well, let's go ahead and talk about this one first, since
Okay.
it was our Rioja.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
So
You like it?
when it first, when it first, I had so much going on
Look
that
at
the
this
immediate,
one.
there was so much going on here in front of me, but immediately the aroma of it hit, and I thought, well, I wonder if that's that or the fruit. So then I tasted it, and it tasted like it smelled, and it's so aromatic. It's very impressive for what was essentially an under $10 bottle of wine that we got
Yes.
after discount.
But I'm not a white wine drinker. I don't think I'll buy it. I'm hoping.
Oh, I would. It's got. I'm a white wine drinker. It has a lot of character and a lot of flavor, but it's very dry as well. So it's actually.
It is very dry.
It's dry, but with that floral flavor and even the fruit flavor on the front of the mouth. That it's just very enjoyable, and then it doesn't linger, so it just ends up done, and it's just a very nice light summer wine. It's excellent.
It is a nice. It is a light summer wine, but it's just not floating my boat.
And I'm very excited to taste it in the sangria.
I think once I may enjoy it better with the sangria and a little bit of fizz, and I think that I would.
Oh,
like
the
with
fizz
it. I
will
think
be
the fizz
excellent.
will.
Yeah.
The fizz is going to definitely help it. So I definitely want to add.
So what would you give it?
I'm finishing the glass. That's it.
Well, she's not pouring it out in the sink.
No, I'm not pouring it out in the
So
sink.
she's being polite. It's polite. So we're at 2? You're being
I'm
polite?
going to give it a 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really not that big a fan.
And I would give it a 3 because I'll have another glass. But I'm not looking to go buy another bottle. But I'll have enough glass. And we got to back up because we didn't do the Blanc de Blanc.
Oh, okay, the Blanc de Blanc. Oh, do I want to taste it again? I don't remember.
I would have to.
I don't remember really what that one tasted like. I think this was a little bit sweeter.
All right.
So what do you think about the Blanc de Blanc?
Let me see.
Now this has Chenin Blanc, Sauvignon Blanc.
And Gewürztraminer.
Yes, it's the
That
German. It's kind of what people would get besides Riesling.
But that's like a very small amount of the blend.
It is.
Honestly, I like the Rioja better.
The Rioja is much drier. This one is definitely sweeter. I really don't like either one.
So, and I like white wines. I like a dry white wine. And I just felt there was more character in the Rioja, and I felt like it had more mouth to it, even though they're both very, very light. It has more flavor, more of a flavor profile throughout. And this is just sweet.
That it is much sweeter.
So I would.
But I do think this would go good with an Asian dish, or something spicy.
Yeah,
so I
or
do
maybe
think
even
that.
some of this fruit that we have here. If you're going to have a fruit and cheese type situation, that would be good.
Maybe, because it wouldn't overpower it. Usually you
Right.
want your wine to be at the same level sweetness as your dish.
Right.
So if you had this fruit, then you would need to have this here
That would be
because
a
it
good
would be
pairing.
sweeter.
So it'll
because
go
the
with what we
Rioja
have.
would just be too dry for it. But
Which is why we added some
yeah, I'm not in love with either.
sweet. Okay, all right. Well, how about our
Okay, I like this one.
the Pinot Noir? my impulse buy. This is so much fun. It's got the greetings. Oh, it does have a little story. I love to see the story. It's Greetings Wine Company, and there's like a little story on the back, and this really adorable picture.
There's
It's
a slight little tannin on it that has some cherry. It's not really dry. It's medium dry to me.
I
It's
felt like
not-
it was fruity. I felt like it was
It
fruity.
is. It is fruity. I like this one. And see, that's if I'm going to drink something, I'd rather drink this than the.
Well, and on a nice, like it's hot.
It is hot.
And this is not going to overpower or weigh you
No.
down. It's very, very pleasant drinking, even though it's hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
I guess so. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I like it. I probably how many corks would you give this one?
Oh, we didn't give. What about your Blanc de Blanc?
That's two corks for me.
It's a 2 cork for me also.
Yeah.
But the Pinot, how many corks you giving this one?
I would probably give this one 3. I've had some really great Pinots, and we didn't open it up a little bit. It might need to open up a little bit more. I wouldn't say it's on the really great Pinot, but
No, I probably wouldn't go buy another glass, but I would definitely. I'm hoping this is good.
that's going to be great. Like what we should do. So what we need to do is do a redux and rate the sangrias after.
Yeah,
the fact. We'll do a live or something to do that.
we'll rate our sangrias
Yeah.
because I'm really curious to
Super
see what
excited.
it's going to turn out
Yeah.
like.
And the way that we do these recipes where we just throw in, we really don't know if we could. John's always like, can you recreate it is the question. And
We'll see.
maybe not. We might just talk about that great
We can
sangria from
get it.
2020 that we had.
We can get it close. We'll put it in the show notes so that you can have the idea. But it's basically fresh fruit that's
Fresh
in
seasonal
season,
fruit.
and along with whichever wine you want.
That's right. White or red, and
Yeah.
and go from there. Well, we hope you guys have had a great 4th, because by the
Yes.
time you see this, it will be afterwards, and we hope that you are getting to have a fun vacation and some good relaxation this summer, and that you're not letting coronavirus take over your whole world.
Enjoy your staycation.
That's right. That's right. And spend time with the family and enjoy being with that small circle of friends and,
Exactly.
and group and family. So anyway,
Until next time on
Wines to Find. Cheers.